And good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to Undercover ET UK. Now, God, social media has been blowing up over this whole UFO that's hidden under a base somewhere or hidden under a building somewhere. And, of course, Moneypenny, old journo from BBC, right? Don't think she works there anymore. She's called out Ross Coulthard for some reason. And it occurred to me straight away that the object, and she even says it, the object that she thinks might be under a base in Nebraska. She's already admitted it might not even be the same as what Ross is on about. So I don't know why she's made this video. Let's have a look.
Hi, this is Moneypenny. This is a message to Ross Coulthard. You have 3 hours from now to contact me, and you have my contact details. We've spoken before. To be able to stop me revealing where a giant UFO, a huge giant UFO, is underneath a massive high security building. And now I have the evidence, and I'm going to release it in 3 hours time unless you contact me and tell me there is a very important national security issue that would stop me. Because I believe, in the interests of disclosure and of everybody who has been struggling with deception and secrets for far too long, that we have a right to know this. You told us about it more than 2 years ago. It's about time people knew the truth. 3 hours, counting. Speak to you soon, Ross.
Alright guys, so I do have an issue with this. And it's not like I've got an issue with Penny. Let me just play it again and explain.
To call me, and you have my contact details. We've spoken before. To be able to stop me revealing where a giant UFO, a huge giant UFO, is underneath a massive high security building.
Where a giant UFO is. She's stating that a giant UFO is. Okay, so this is where the clout is being built up. She doesn't know that a giant UFO is being held under the base in Nebraska. She's teamed up with ChatGPT-5, an AI tool, to determine which building or military building would likely house a UFO should one have crashed or been shot down or been captured. Right. Now, I'm not saying she's wrong in her findings. In fact, what she's found is very compelling, right? The building costs more than the Pentagon. They've got all sorts of crazy stuff going on under there, right? They spent a lot of money, and she's managed to link a UFO sighting to the day that they actually asked for more funding, guys. Just to cut the long story short, a triangle UFO was spotted. On that day, they asked for more funding. What does that mean? Does that mean that it crashed, that they retrieved it and they went, right, we need more funding? And then before closing time, they managed to get down to the office and ask for more money. Is that what happened? We don't know what time it, like, there's a lot of small details that I'd love to know, okay? But I have a problem with that statement right there. The fact that she is making this a fact, that there is an object underneath that base. Right? Having a colleague, even one as smart as an AI tool, will not give you that answer. It will give you a good idea of where something might be based on follow the money trail. And I appreciate, I appreciate the passion for wanting to get this out there. I really do. But for me, it's not definitive enough. I'm going to show you the base. And guys, I'm sure you've all looked it up. And if you haven't already, check out Moneypenny on X. She's given all the information as to why she thinks this base is credible. And to be honest with you, I like people that connect the dots. I do. I really do. And this is what she's basically saying here. It's in Nebraska. It's got something creepy about it, guys. She's got a point. We should look into it. But to say that there is 100% in that statement there, no. And also, there's likely, and I know you've picked up on this, Moneypenny, because I have read through your posts. There's likely more than one UFO being hidden from us, from various governments. And then to call out Ross and suggest that you're going to spill, unless he gives you a good reason. He can't tell you anything. So if you're going to spill, just spill. And honestly, like, and I know you have, but I feel like Ross is one of them ones that would love for this to come out. He's just not at liberty to say certain things because he's got to show trust for people that he works with, for his sources, right? So I don't think that post was necessary, to be honest with you. I don't think it was, and that's just where I stand with it all. I'd love for someone to go check out the base, but these kind of bases need they need high clearance. You're talking E6 and upwards, guys. The likelihood of getting into these places is slim. How do I know that? Because I was talking to Eddie Abbott last night, who worked in a skiff. He worked in S3 in Hawaii. I've had him on the show like 6 times now, right? So even he was getting a little bit sort of irate with this, but at the same time, it's mass confusion, right? So he's adamant that amongst officers in the skiff, and with the knowledge they had and conversations they had, he's adamant that there is a craft underneath a base, and that base is Pine Gap in Australia, guys. So we're going to look at Pine Gap because the information I have has come from an insider who worked in a skiff. So I'm not using some AI tool to get me there. He said Pine Gap. I'm looking at Pine Gap, and this is what it says. Pine Gap is a joint US-Australian intelligence facility located near Alice Springs, playing a crucial role in global surveillance and military operations. Location and background. Pine Gap is situated approximately 18 kilometres or 11 miles southwest of Alice Springs in the Northern Territory of Australia. Established in 1970 under the secret treaty between the United States and Australia, it was originally designed to monitor Soviet missile launches and nuclear tests during the Cold War, which, by the way, we are still very much in a Cold War. Operations and functions. Pine Gap serves as a satellite communications and signals intelligence SIGINT facility. It is operated jointly by Australian Defence Force and various US intelligence agencies, including the CIA and NSA. CIA are in there, guys, okay? The facility is equipped with 38 radomes and protect satellite dishes, which are used to intercept a wide range of signals, including phone calls and military communications. The base plays a vital role in global intelligence gathering. Pine Gap collects and processes signal intelligence from satellites, providing critical data for military operations and strategic planning. Missile launch detection. It supports early warning systems for missile launches and contributes to missile defense strategies. Drone operations. Intelligence from Pine Gap has been used to inform drone strikes in various conflict zones, including the Middle East and Afghanistan. So, controversies and public perception. Pine Gap has been the subject of significant controversy and public protests, particularly regarding its role in the military operations and impact on Australian sovereignty. Critics argue that the facility facilitates US military interventions and compromises the privacy of Australian citizens. The Australian government has historically maintained a high level of secrecy around the base's operations, leading to speculation and concern among the public, guys. Conclusion. Pine Gap remains one of the most secretive and strategically important intelligence facilities in the world, significantly influencing both Australian and US military capabilities. Its operations continue to evolve, reflecting the changing landscape of global security and intelligence needs. Well. There you go. That's just a write-up on what Pine Gap is, guys. I literally just put it into Google. That's what I came up with. So, Google Earth. This is what Pine Gap looks like, guys. And you can see if I just come out, it is right in the middle of no man's land in Australia. Right in the middle of no man's land, guys. My cursor's still on the base. Look at that. Directly in the middle. You couldn't get any more... There's Alice Springs. Okay. But yeah, guys, you couldn't get any more, like, out of the way. That's insane. And there you go, no through road. Joint Defence Facility, Pine Gap, official entry only, turn around, no photography. Now, I've spoken to Eddie about this, okay, and he claims, and I'm going to read you exactly what he says here. All right, guys, so this is what Eddie Abbott says on Pine Gap, okay. We have put so much into Pine Gap, and he means we as in the military. It's a severely remote location, and I've just shown you on the map how remote it is. No one's getting there easily, and it is a joint effort between the US and the Australians. They have scientists there. UFO sightings are beyond insane, okay. It's like Skinwalker Ranch. To enter the base, you must possess a top secret clearance. All service and non-essential personnel require secret clearance, and their numbers are limited. So it means that they can only have so many people on the base at the same time. They all have to have top secret clearance. The base is treated like Area 51, guys. This is what Eddie says and all he knows, okay? So all people talked about in Hawaii, that's where he worked in a skiff at S3. All that people talked about in the skiff was Pine Gap and how sinister it was. How there were levels below ground level, and aliens working on the base in conjunction with the US and Australian government. Not to forget military as well. The talk was always massive UFO located under the base at Pine Gap. That was the talk. Massive UFO located under Pine Gap. Many intelligence analysts tried to get at it. They were told impossible. Only E6 or higher, or you weren't getting in, guys. That's the clearance you needed, E6 or higher. And I believe Eddie only went to E5. So he wouldn't have been cleared to go in and have a look. But there you have it, guys. So, going back to Google Earth, it's a big claim. It's a big claim that they're not only have they got a UFO base under here and they've got a UFO, but apparently they've got ETs working in conjunction with military and government officials from both sides, the US and Australia. And it's happening right here, guys. So I've checked it out, and you can see they've got lots of signal equipment. They obviously like satellites. They are a highly secured facility, 100%. And you can't get to this base at all. If you was to attack Australia, there's no way you're launching missiles and getting right into the centre of the country easily. So this is, even if you wanted to attack and retrieve as another country, you wouldn't be able to do it. Look at it. I was looking around, guys, and there are several buildings, okay, several large buildings. Do I think they're housing this UFO? No, I believe it's probably underground. And there are several entrances that look like it could go underground. And that, for me, is quite cool in itself. There's potential. There's potential. And there's one hole in particular that I wanted to look at. A potential hole. Let me know what you guys think. But look at this over here. Seems to be a little bit out of the way. I'm not too sure whether that's something on the land or something upright that's creating like a shadow, or whether that's just a hole in this hilltop here. I have no idea, guys. It does look like a massive gaping hole in the land, doesn't it? I have no idea. It also looks like a part of a shadow, potentially. So it could be a shadow to something. Let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comments below. But yeah, so we need to check out a few locations, in my opinion. Is this the one Ross Coulthard was on about? I don't know. I really don't know, and I'm not about to ask him and put up an ultimatum on the off chance that there's a national security risk. The lie, the secret, it does exist, and we want to know. So I'm not asking permission, I'm just putting this out there. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is Pine Gap worth investigating more? Eddie Abbott seems to think so, and he works in a skiff. I can't give you an opinion other than I'd love for someone else to look into this. If you are a remote viewer, please, by all means, have a look into it. Get in contact with me. We've got several locations that we would love for people to look at, where, like I say, we've got inside information, and if we can prove at least one of these sites are right, then we're onto something. You know, disclosure will happen, guys. So, with that said, I'll leave you guys to it. Thank you so much for all your time. Like and subscribe, as always. We need your support, and we need to support the public's evidence as well. Keep those cameras in the skies, folks. Take care, all the best, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye for now.